just great. You know, it gives me goosebumps, you know, just standing here with the grid, with all the fans.
It's Magic's 24 hours inspire a lot of people. I can't wait for it all to get started and just watch the drivers going for it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 7 of the North American Grand Prix GT2 Championship, coming to you live from the Mont Tremblant circuit in Canada, also known as Saint Jovite. People call it that, but I think it's now commonly known as Mont Tremblant. Fun track. It's currently flooded right now, and looking forward to a good event here tonight. But before we go any further, let me welcome Brad Maris to the broadcast. Brad, you out there?
Yeah, I'm out here, Al. Just finished up some recon laps in the Ford GT3 in some very tricky conditions, and let me tell you something. It is going to be quite a challenge for these guys if we have some weather roll in, because I saw a lot of slipping and sliding out there, a lot of dent up bodywork, a few wheels laying across the track as well. We'll see what happens here in this race tonight. Going to be a good one.
Well, this circuit is, it says here, looking at the track, chance of rain is average. But I'll tell you what, I think every time we've raced here, we've come across some kind of inclement weather. Last time we ran here was season 14 back in January of 2011. Race that was won. It was actually a 2-hour it was an opener for the season, so it was a 2 hours of race with David Canavan taking the win. Only 4 guys finished on the lead lap. Only 15 saw the checkered flag, and out of 37, I think we had something like 12 or 13 collisions or guys go out due to suspension damage of some sort. So it's going to be quite an affair tonight. Hopefully these guys can hang in there for the entire 1-hour event.
A pretty ridiculous amount of attrition for sure. You know, we're going to have just about the same amount of starters tonight, somewhere around that 35, 37 range, so the track will be full. But I'm looking at the times rolling in here in the practice times, and I have to say I'm really impressed with these guys all through the order. You know, these times are pretty close, which is indicative of everybody putting in a decent amount of practice and running pretty similar lines. So I think so far the prognosis looks pretty good. I think we're in for a good race, good tight action.
taking a look at the track map real quick. You got 15 corners. We've just kicked it off over to qualifying, but before these guys start to run a hot lap, let's go on board real quick and take a look at this circuit.
And some of the challenges these drivers are going to be facing tonight. The first one you can see right off the bat, very tricky uphill right-hand corner with just some horrendous bumps through it, coming now into turn 2, technically turn 3, and 4, some sweepers. Now, very bumpy track all around, particularly that first corner you saw Marty go over. Some of these corners require just absolutely no throttle input, very little brake input, just simply managing the car over the bumps, trying to get to the right spot on entry as the car will want to wash out on the exit. Tricky little right-hand corner coming up here. It sweeps all the way around to 180 degrees. Difficult to pick up the exit point to get on throttle, but you got to do it, and you need the car to rotate very well through there, setting up for acceleration on exit. Now, another tricky right-hand corner coming up here. Difficult to spot your entry into this one, difficult to get the braking just right, easy to slide too wide, and also here to this left-hander, very important corner, another one that you need to get right and not go wide. Another difficult braking point there, can't hardly find your entry into that, so the braking is a bit blind, and same with this tricky right-hander as well. Now, these last 2 corners will count for a lot of one's lap times, but it is much, much slower than it appears, with big bumps there to mess with that acceleration coming off. That will do your Mont Tremblant hot lap.
Nice job there by, who is that? Marty doing the onboard with us, and Brad doing the voiceover. So Brad, obviously the big key here is that I guess turn 1, that uphill and then downhill cake widths is what Parsons is about to go over right now. As you see, the car gets really out of shape going up over that hill. Really tricky corner.
Yeah, a lot of fun to get through, but I hope we don't see too much side-by-side racing, but a lot of these guys are going to be prepared for that corner. It's something that is a known quantity. You can only go off there so many times before you figure out a little bit how to get through there. The key for the guys that really want to go fast around here, however, will be that third sector. Some real slow, twisty bits, very blind corners, extremely difficult braking zones. So that's really the key to turning your fast laps. But turn 1 is always the critical juncture for race-ending mishap.
Currently on board with Parsons and the Mustang.
Had a chance to talk with Aaron a little earlier. Aaron seemed to like his chances this race. At least he liked the way the car was feeling around here. He thought he had a pretty good setup underneath him. So watch out for Aaron Parsons. A real possibility of a good showing here tonight.
Well, right at the end of practice, he did have the top time there in those flooded conditions, but conditions are dry right now, 90-something degree track temp. So ideal conditions for these guys. So Parsons currently 6th. Let's see if he's able to improve. He does, the 2nd. Alex White provisionally on pole right away with the 1:33.9. Parsons a 2nd back, just a little over a 2nd back of White, who is on a hot lap.
Yeah, and you mentioned, or we were talking a little bit about another guy who popped 5th provisionally, Jens Klempnauer. We saw him turn in some very fine practice times in that flooded session as well. He is in 5th.
Well, this should be a pretty good track. It should be a good track for the Lambo. However, it is a little hairy handling-wise, especially going over that hill.
Yeah, that's going to be its toughest section, no doubt. If they can get the Lamborghini over that section, then it should be a pretty darn good performer around the rest of this place. Now, something we should mention real quickly is after our flooded conditions there in practice, that is going to have washed a lot of the groove off this racing circuit. So the conditions will be a little bit more slick out there than these guys are used to until the session gets a little deeper.
Prieto up to second in the McLaren. About a half second off here in this middle, second split time.
Yeah, and of those at the top here, at least provisionally, Andres Prieto is carrying the most weight with 40 kilos. So a good second place showing so far with those 40 kilograms.
Prieto to the line. No improvement. See Felipe Triana on track. Currently fifth, Marty Uran, who was looking pretty racy there in the wet session. Currently running sixth in the BMW.
Had a chance to talk with Marty Urin as well. Marty Urin, I think, was actually looking forward to some possible wet conditions. I think that he prefers his setup when it is wet. So Marty Urin hoping for a little bit of the rainy stuff.
They're along with Marty here. 7/10 off, nearly 8. As he approaches the bridge here, this blind left-hander. Gotta be very, gotta apply the throttle very gingerly over that corner, if at all, like you mentioned in the onboard.
Yeah, you just want to set up in a particular spot and just kind of coast around the whole thing.
It's gonna be Go ahead.
Any extra throttle there can put you instantly put the car in a spin or put you off of the groove on the wide side of the track.
So Marty jumps up to fifth. Jaime Moore running seventh. Felipe Triana in eighth. Felipe should be serving a no qual. He is on track. Following David Poole about to start a lap. Let's follow Dave for a moment here. Stand by, folks.
One little piece of housekeeping business to do here. We'll be back just momentarily.
Alright, so David Poole, sorry, missed his split time. Currently in the 10th position. So David Poole, a contender for the championship. Currently lies second overall. So David having a great season.
Yeah, and as a result of that great season, David Poole is carrying quite a bit of weight ballast here tonight. So 50 kilos for David Poole lugging around in the trunk of that BMW tonight. That will slow him down a bit.
Yeah, he's 10 points off Andres Prieto, who's leading the championship with 92 points. David Poole second with 82. Rodrigo Triana in third with 69. So Rodrigo having quite the season for himself.
Yeah, a fascinating points championship shaping up with Andres Prieto having some bad luck at Mid-Ohio, but many of his closest competitors falling off there as well, with the exception of David Poole, which is why that gap remains very close between the two.
So David Poole moves up to 9th. That moves Klepnauer back to 10th. Klepnauer on an outlap. Kurt Chandler currently in P11, so good to see Kurt. We got a Gumper turned around there. So Curtis putting in quite a run here tonight. After had some time off, came back this season. Bit of a shaky start for Kurt to the season. Started with the Audi, now in the Panos. And he's looking pretty good right now, currently 12th. So, let's see what Kurt ends up at the end of the session here. Laurent Vassman currently 13. Really tough start last week for Laurent. Really not of his doing. Got hit from behind at Mid-Ohio. And then really pummeled one of the hay bales and really exploded his car to end the night early for him.
Yeah, and Laurent was looking pretty good at the beginning of that race, and he has put in some solid point finishes this season, just has not collected as many as he could have.
Greg Myers 14th in the pits. Someone asked, are there any Astons out there tonight? I don't think so. I haven't seen any. Mike Trussler 15th. Gup Douglas. Looks like Gup is filling in for Ian Jolicoeur, currently in the 16th position. Filling in for Ian, part of Kung Fu Racing. Johnny Lugnut's running 17th. Home track for Johnny and for a lot of these guys. Johnny, Jack Ivey, Kevin Savoy, John Houston, Klempnauer. All a bunch of Canadians driving here. So let's see if Johnny can improve on his 18th position. Does improves one spot to 17th. Matt Taylor's had a great last 4 races in the points, top 10s. Currently back in 19th, however. So it looks like he might be struggling a little bit here, but look for Matt to improve. Mike Greatrix in the Panos tonight, currently in 20th. Jack Ivey in the Viper, currently in 21st. Mike Monahan, 22nd. A little surprised to see Mike Monahan this far back. Ken Rodriguez running 23rd. Looks like he might have either Lou or Johnny behind him, and they both take it off. Oh, no, that was Johnny and Lou's taking it off, so he must be feeling the vibe. Ryan Story, 25th. Dan Wilkerson back in 26 in that Viper. Carlos De La Torre, 27th in the Jag. Cuppets in the pits, coming out. John Watson with a huge slide, currently 29th. Chris Moses, languishing back in 30th. Not sure what's going on there with Chris. Well,
yeah,
looks
looking
like
at
that might be a part of it.
Yeah, looking at timing and scoring here, I see actually Chris Moses has logged quite a few laps, but he has no timed laps in, indicating that he has not kept it on track for full-time lap.
So back out front, Alex White continues to lead the session with a 33.2 best time, followed by Parsons, Savoy, and Triana.
Yeah, Kevin for that until Aaron Parsons here in just the last couple of minutes clipped Kevin Savoy for that second spot. So the times continue to tighten toward the front. Alex White did improve on his time pretty significantly by about 0.7 of a second there. So a stout time put in by Alex White.
Ooh, that was a close call for Savoy. Rigo Triana trying to put a lap in here. He's got a boatload of traffic up ahead. Ooh, he had a pretty good lap going for him. Ooh, Kurt lagging quite a bit there.
Lots of traffic all over the place around here, Al.
Great though, 4/10 off in the first sector. I'll go with Andre.
Yeah, Andre has continued to lower his lap time slightly, while teammate Jaime Moore, part of that Team Columbia Newies, there runs just behind in 6th. Team Columbia Newies putting in a very fine qualifying effort here.
Not a bad second split for Andre. Well, someone took out a brake marker. This could put Andre up into the top 5, top 3 actually, depending how he gets out of this final corner. It's pretty good. No improvement. Wow, he lost a bunch of time in that last sector. Whoa!
Yeah, and again, that third sector is really going to make or break your lap time around here. Extremely difficult corners to get around, and I suspect that that 40 kilos Andres Prieto is carrying around is really hurting him in those very slow sections.
Tell you what, Jaime Moore putting in a good run here in 7th, right behind his teammate. Currently on an out lap. Taking a look further back, Salem Montgomery Jr. in 8th. Liverpool remains in 9th. And John Houston in the top 10. So John putting in a solid qualifying effort here tonight. Got just over 8 minutes left here. Klepnauer in 11th. Chris Moses about to start a lap here, still in 30th. Oh, he just can't get that corner right. Rich Roman. Back in 33rd. Not sure what's going on with Rich. Oh, looks like he's off. He's going to try and get a qualifying lap in.
Yeah, Rich has been off track and in the pits here for this whole session, so I don't know if he had to step away there for a moment, had some last-minute instructions from his chief engineer, what have you, but in any event, Rich yet to set a lap.
Wow, that bump is really catching a lot of guys off here in qualifying.
Well, especially in qualifying when it comes down to really trying to nail that fastest lap. Of course, you're right on the edge anyway, and it takes just the barest tiny bit over the edge on that corner. So,
well, Moses in Roman's case, you don't have much time left. At what point do you just take it easy through there and just try and get a lap in?
Yeah, I completely agree, but you know what? Qualifying is not the end-all, beat-all around here. Really, the whole key to this race is going to be survival for almost everybody. Perhaps the first couple spots, drivers 1 through 4. For everybody else, it's just a case of not throwing it off track. So, qualifying kind of secondary here, in as much as at least trying to get up ahead of the big wreck, maybe.
So we're following Parsons as he's tries to best Alex White's provisional pole lap. That Mustang's looking good around here, though. No improvement. 6/10 off the leader.
Yeah, Aaron holding steady through that second sector. Alex White has him by a good 4/10 in Sector 1 there, and a couple more tenths in Sector 2. So really, Sector 1's where Aaron's going to want to try to get a little bit better.
So Savoie remains in 3rd. Marty Uren has moved up to the 4th position. Triana remains in 5th. So Triana's got a lap going here. Doesn't look like he's got any traffic ahead of him. Triana with a good second split, 4.5 tenths off. Go ahead, Brad.
Could be important as we have 5, 6, and 7, Triana, Prieto, and Moore all right together in terms of time. So a little extra time in Rodrigo's bank could prove a big dividend.
Ooh, big mistake there in that final corner. That's going to cost him. Ooh, maybe not. Jumps up to third. Wow, that looked a little shaky there. Looked like he car got unsettled there and spun the tires. Ooh, watch out. Hold on. Savoy is off. 4 minutes to go. Moses out on a lap, on an out lap. Rich Roman now carrying some weight, filling in for Juan Monroy. Roman finishing second last week at Mid-Ohio. So Roman should be able to get another lap in here after this one. He's 6 seconds off. I don't think that's going to cut it. And he lets some traffic by.
Well, what a great second place for Rich Roman last week. And again, like this week, I think he's had very limited practice out there. And this is a track you do want plenty of practice on. So we'll see if he puts in the same type of performance on that limited practice tonight.
Following Chris Moses here. Let's go on board with him. Let's see if he can make it through the hump. So far, so good. There we go.
Okay, well.
Oh, he's got some
Hurdle
traffic
one overcome.
up ahead. Oh, and he nearly takes it off there. 7 tenths off in the first sector. But in his situation, just get that lap in.
Yeah, it's better than 1,000,000 tenths off where he is right now, so.
That's true. Good point. So top two remain the same.
Strange.
Go ahead, Brad.
I was just kind of watching Chris Moses drive around here. It's very strange. Chris Moses had on this place. I know that he's gotten a few laps in, so this is very odd.
Oh, he loses the rear. He hangs on to it. Wow. What an amazing save. And it's going to cost him some time, but I tell you what, that lap he had going, he was 7 tenths off in the first sector. Actually, he may be able to get another one in. And, man, he was only 8 tenths off in the sector 2, but this should move him into near the top 10. Nope. To 11th. Houston settled for 10th. Poole in 9th. Montgomery Jr. running 8th. Just under 2 minutes to go. Jaime Moore in 7th. Ooh, we got Savoy looping it. Prieto in a drag race with a Ferrari. Prieto currently in 6th. Ooh, he's off. Second and change. He's been better through there. Let's see where Prieto ends up, if he's able to improve. Nope. So Alex White currently out front. He's up in the first sector. Parsons is parked at Triana as well. Savoy is done. Let's see what Marty can do here. Marty, 4/10 off in Sector 2. So this could be a good lap for Marty. Could put him up into the top 3. Decent exit. This could be a good lap for Marty there, Brad.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that second to last corner, if that was decent or not. It was.
It was to 3rd.
And that's a satisfying feeling now to really bring home with a good solid lap there right as time's running out.
David Poole about to cross the line. Let's see where he ends up. No improvement. Ooh, Matt Taylor's jumped up to 9th right at the end there. Ooh, Jaime Moore. Don't know if he's going to get it in. If he does, I don't think it's going to be good enough. Oh, big slide for Jaime. No improvement. Salem, can he get it in? He does, but doesn't improve. Well, there you have it. Quite the qualifying session. Alex White takes pole with a 133.1. Parsons second with a 33.8. The only 2 guys in the 33s. And Marty, you're in. Claiming 3rd, just beating out Rodrigo Triana by 0.03 of a second. Great lap. Well, I'll tell you what. Look at that 3, 4, and 5. 0.03 of a second separating those 3 guys. 0.005 of a second between Triana and Savoy.
Yeah, fun stuff. And I was looking at that very same thing, Al, and I tell you why. That's because Kevin Savoy actually is at the end of that trio. Now that could be big news for Kevin Savoy, because I suspect he's likely to have a pretty strong pace in that Lamborghini on those guys in front of him. So Kevin Savoy could be looking to try to make a move somewhere in this very tricky, tight, twisty track in the early lap. Al, I will be right back.
All right, we're just in qualifying 2 here, waiting for some guys to come in who may have missed this session. Alex Scott's jumped back in, Felipe Triana. So this pole position for White. He's had a difficult season. Reigning GT2 champion has had some serious problems with his connection throughout the season. He's dropped out of a number of races, not even in the top 5 in the standings this season, but no doubt looking for a good result tonight. So we talked about the drivers' points. Preto is leading David Pohl by 10 points, 92 to 82. Triana in 3rd with 69, 65. Parsons, he's in 4th. And Chris Moses in 5th. Chris with a tough qualifying session right at the very end, well, near the end, qualifies in 12th. So that's going to be a little hairy for Chris. I'm sure he probably would have wanted to start closer to the front, especially at this track. But we'll see how things pan out. In the teams category, Team Columbia Vintage, that is Rodrigo Triana and Juan Monroy. They lead with 135. 2 Slackers Racing, that's David Poole and Salem Montgomery Jr. with 126. They made a big boost in their hopes last week. Team Columbia Newies, Jaime Moore and Andres Preto in 3rd with 117. T-Brock Dan Bam GT2 in 4th with 93 points. That's Aaron Parsons and John Houston. And Argo Racing, that is Kevin Savoy and Jens Klempnauer in 5th with 83 points. So pretty tight team championship and drivers championship as well. Sorry, Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you something right now, Al. I am really impressed with those two Slacker Racing guys, Salem Montgomery Jr. and David Poole, of course. They have been putting in very consistent efforts over the course of this season when it looked like Team Columbia Vintage and Team Columbia Newies were going to jump out to a big, commanding two-horse race lead. They have hung in there and put in good results and now find themselves just barely out of the lead of that classification. So I'm very impressed with that run. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do here tonight. Easy track to spell disaster on, but Salem Montgomery Jr. right there in 8th, and David Poole not too far back as well with that weight.
Brad, I'm going to take a quick break myself. I'll be right back.
Yep, you got it. So, quick reminder here, you are watching NAGP TV, and its continuing coverage of this Season 21 GT2 Championship, well, 21 or 22, something like that, here at Mont Tremblant. I hope that pronunciation is halfway, somewhat, sort of correct. And one heck of a race tonight. Sometimes you have a race versus other drivers. Sometimes you have a race kind of against oneself in the track. And it is definitely a case of the latter here tonight. There will be a few guys that will have the opportunity to try to best each other out on track. Some of the drivers toward the front, we know who those names are going to be. Alex White, Parsons, Uren, Triana, down to Montgomery Jr., Matt Taylor, David Poole. All these guys obviously want to improve their position. They want to race well, but sometimes you just have to kind of race at the particular track, and that is definitely one of those times here tonight. So, no less of a challenge, really, all things being said, just somewhat of a different challenge. And the first order of business around here is really just going to be to get through that turn 1 complex. These guys will want to sort themselves out in very short order to try to get in line quickly. Definitely not take any chances. The real bugaboo around here is that it doesn't matter how careful you are, it just takes the smallest mistake from somebody in front to have some big problems there at that turn 1 complex. So hopefully we don't see that and any big pileups, but frankly it is a possibility. These guys are very good, and we mentioned the times and going through some of the qualifying. The times did end up actually being pretty close throughout the field, and again that suggests that the drivers are all pretty well skilled with getting around this place. So we'll see how that translates once they get into the thick of action. We can likely expect to see some gaps open up as this race works deeper into the stint. But there will be some pretty good battles throughout. Once again, given that the times on the timing sheets are pretty close, those battles also will tend to kind of come apart and come back together quickly also. As a very small mistake, one that does not lead to disaster, can still easily lose a driver some 2 to 3 seconds trying to get the horse back under control and corralled. And so another reason why we should see some good battles out there on track tonight. It's also going to be the case here, assuming we don't see any weather, but especially if we do, where no lead is necessarily safe. We saw that the last time we ran here. Quite a few lead changes due to offs and happenstance before David Canavan finally came through to kind of establish himself in that race, went on to the win in some sloppy conditions.
I am back, Brad. Chris Moses, you copy?
Yes, Al, I'm here.
Al and Brad here in the broadcast booth. Looked like a tough qualifying session for you out there. What's your thought process going into tonight's race, where you, especially from where you're starting?
Just hitting my marks, and that was the problem I was having qualifying. The brake markers have been knocked down, and there was no groove on the track. I didn't know where to brake. So, yeah, just hit my marks and just drive the track first and let the competition come to me. Actually, the car's pretty quick, so if I can just keep it under me, I should have a good result.
All right, well, good luck out there, and we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Right on.
Yeah, an interesting point Chris made, and mentioned it at the top of that, the start of qualifying, that the groove had been washed away. So it sounds like Chris Moses was really affected. And the other thing I did think about running some recon laps is a lot of these brake markers are likely to get knocked down, and that could play a huge role around here. Some corners have quite a few brake markers set up, so you may have a few of them left, but it could be quite a challenge as this race goes on. Those brake markers likely will go down.
See an incident going into the pit lane in practice. Klemnauer got throttled by Alex White. Let's hope that doesn't happen in the race. All right, well, for you guys, there is a Twitch app out there for your smartphone, iPad, whatever you use. You can watch the race there. Or as I just did upstairs on my giant TV, I used my Roku and watched Twitch briefly on my Roku box, and it looked unbelievable. All right. We're ready to go here. Race, track temp, it's dry, 90-degree ambient, 105-degree Fahrenheit track temp. Starting from pole, Alex White, followed by Aaron Parsons, Marty Uren in third, Rodrigo Triana starting fourth, and Kevin Savoy fifth.
And Andres Prieto in sixth, Jaime Moore in seventh, Salem Montgomery Jr. in eighth, Matt Taylor in ninth, David Poole in 10th.
John Houston, 11th. Chris Moses, 12th. David Raleigh starting 13th. Mike Monahan, 14th. And Greg Myers, 15th.
Jens Klempnauer starts 16th. Curtis Chandler's in 17th. Johnny Lugnutz is in 18th. Laurent Weissman starts 19th. And Mike Greatrex in 20th.
Jack Ivey will be starting 21st. Mike Trussler, 22nd. Gup Douglas, 23rd. Dan Wilkerson, 24th. And Ken Rodriguez, 25th.
Brian Story starts 26th, Lou Mascarelli starts 27th, Rich Roman in 28th, Carlos De La Torre in 29th, and Jonathan Cuppett in 30th.
John Watson starting 31st, Kevin Miller 32nd, Felipe Triana 33rd, and Alex Scott will be starting 34th from the back, serving no qual. 40 seconds to go here, Brad. What are your thoughts? Who do you think's going to take this one tonight?
Well, it's always hard to bet against Alex White, but we have seen Alex White run into some problems this season, not only with disconnects, but also with, I think, overdriving a little bit, trying to get back on track, get back to his former glory of his championship ways. So if Alex White, again, does not over-push the car, overdrive it, I think Alex White's your winner tonight.
Very tight starting grid here. Let's hope these guys take it easy on the start. We're about to go green from Mont Tremblant. Another great start from White. Wow, really rocketing away from Parsons as he head up into one. White leading the field. So far, so good for everybody. Two broadcasters nearly get into one another from Thursday night. Jack Ivey and Ken Rodriguez.
Are these guys just crawling around the first corners of this circuit? They are really doing exactly what they have to do to survive these opening laps.
Great job by those guys. So far, great start to the race. Ooh, too wide going into this turn 12 complex. On board with Jaime Moore. Ooh, Prieto really cutting in front of Savoy. That could have been deadly. Good move by Savoy. to react to that. Parsons continues to lead. Triana dropped down to 7, so tough start for Triana. Under pressure from Montgomery Jr. for that 7th spot. So here's the true test. This is like the first lap of Spa, going up Eau Rouge for the first time. This little hump here, let's see how guys get through it. Ooh, white. Oh, not bad. Oh! Prato goes off! And he's turned around. It looks like he should be able to get the car going. He does. Wow, that's just things unraveling for Prato. Rally, sorry. Big slide for Dave Rally. Up in front of Moses. Moses falling back to 14.
Was keeping an eye on Rich Roman. Rich Roman had a 360 spin, but was able to keep it going, on track and keep going. 360 off of that turn 2.
What a start to this race, on board with Houston as he's trying to chase down Klupnauer up to 12. It looks like one of the BMWs might have gone wide, but nope. That was David Poole up running in the 9th position. Matt Taylor. What a start! What a season he's had. Currently in 8th. Montgomery Jr. now pressuring Triana and Jaime Moore up ahead. Marty Uran up, still running that 3rd spot. Alex White starting to check out from these guys. He's got about a 3-second gap already over Parsons, Marty Uran. Oh, Savoie with a major spin. Heavy impact. Oh, he's killed it. Motor's off. He's done. So further back, Triana and Watson duking it out at the back. So Savoie has called it a night. Parsons trying to chase down White. Meanwhile, Marty Uren actually making up some ground, it looks like, on Parsons. Behind them, we got Moore in 4th, Triana, and Montgomery Jr. up now to 6th. Matt Taylor to 7th. He's actually putting some distance between him and Poole with a big lurch. Monahan now putting some pressure on David Poole. He's got Moses, Houston, Rally, and Vassman going at it. Ooh, Rally nearly takes it off. Go ahead.
And quite a battle these guys have been having. Chris Moses just getting by John Houston here in the last lap, but they have been fighting very hard. Oh, Moses has a big tank slapper.
So Houston looks like he might have got a run on Moses on the inside. Oh, Houston checks up. Concedes to Moses there. So Moses now up into the top 10.
Well, now that we've had the opportunity for things to settle down a little bit, we're looking at the track temperature now, 108 degrees Fahrenheit out on track, and you know, the left rears around this place can get burned up really quickly, so it can lead to some adhesion problems. John Houston goes off there, some synchronized spinning there in turn 2. Yeah.
Ooh, Vassman with some heavy damage. He looks like he's off the pace. I didn't see what happened to Vassman. So,
well, these guys having these types of problems early, Al, is going to spell real disaster here toward the end of this race. I don't know how many guys we're going to have left.
Chris Moses dodges a bullet there, as did Rally. Houston loses a couple positions after that big slide, but manages to save it. Lugnutz now has moved up to 14th, while Kurt Chandler in the points at 15th, and Andres Prato, after that spin in lap 2, is now falling all the way back to 16th. Greg Myers having a nice start to this race, currently 17th, followed by Gratrix, and Ivy putting on a show here, threatening for points. On board with Jack. That Panos looks like it's a good car around here, Brad.
It should be, yes. Very good over the bumps, some good low-speed grip, help them get through that final sector. So, yeah, I would think that it would be a pretty darn good performance.
Both Greatrix and Kurt putting in a solid run. Kurt under intense pressure from Prato. You really... Ooh, Houston goes off again, and Prato's collected. Mike Monahan is off. Houston's lost his rear clip. Wow.
Tough break for John Houston. He had qualified in the 11th position. I had the opportunity to talk to him before the race. He was not particularly happy with his setup, so I thought his race future might be pretty bright with that 11th starting spot, but it has come unraveled.
Yeah, he's got a he's got a rear puncture, it looks like. And he's got well, I'm not sure where he's going. So, yeah, he may get a black flag for that one. Montgomery Jr. now running in 6th. What a turn of events out back. Matt Taylor in 7th. Yeah. David Poole now coming under pressure from Chris Moses.
Yeah, quite a turn of events. Now, you know, that can quickly
with the
switch.
Big lurch. Ooh, Moses, and he saves it, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you had some exciting action to watch. Those positions can reverse yet again if those guys in front now have trouble. So, nothing settled here at all. Very early into this race. Well, I can't imagine, I don't know if you're still on David Poole, but I can't imagine the kind of driving he's having to do with that 50 kilograms on board. It just must be a nightmare out there for him.
Yeah, you could tell he's really having a hard time. And it looks like Moses is having a hard time as well, especially with the heat. And, you know, the tires on that Audi, as we know, don't last as well as the Michelins. And the way Moses drives, the way he likes to slide the car around. We were just on board with him going over that hump, and we had a good look at the wall as he was almost completely sideways going through there. So Raleigh running in 10th. Vassman back on track. He's running 11th. He's got a ton of damage on his car. I didn't see what happened. Lugnut's now up to 12th with Kurt Chandler putting in a solid drive in 13th. Greg Myers up to now in the points up to 14th, followed by Greatrix and the other Panos in 15th. Gup filling in for Ian in the points in 16th. Brian Story now making the move on Prato. Prato lucky to walk away from that incident. Prato now in 18th. Wow, he had some heavy damage. We were on board with him when it happened. As Prato tries to look on the inside of Story, looks like he's going to get it done. Not without a spin, gives it right back.
Wow, and really kind of, yeah, this is really kind of on the edge here for Andres Prieto. After having that disconnect last week, giving up some points to his rivals, now really in danger of letting that lead slip away completely in that driver championship. So nervous times here for Andres.
Now I think we know why we had only 4 guys on the lead lap in season 14.
It's really difficult to even tiptoe through some of these sections. It can be a challenge even to do that, so it's not too surprising, but I think by and large everybody's gotten enough laps out here. Hopefully now that it's settled down a little bit, it'll settle down a little bit.
Lou Mascarelli in 21st, Cadden Rodriguez 22nd. You know, it's funny, I mean, the start of the race was very clean, very nice, you know, job by everybody, and then once lap 2 started, and the wheels fell off.
You know how it is. At some point, it's just hard when you're sitting behind the wheel and you have those 450 horses underneath your right foot. It's just hard not to let them run a little bit.
Yeah. So Mike Trussler at 24th. Rich Roman back in 25th. Rich doesn't look like he's got a scratch on that car. Alex Scott taking it off. Dan Wilkerson getting by. Carlos De La Torre, 28th. Jonathan Cuppett back in 29th. Looks like he's already been put a lap down. He must have had an incident, had to pit. And Monahan as well has, may has pitted. He's back in 30th. So back out front, taking a look at the gaps. We got Alex White ahead of Parsons by nearly 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I've been keeping an eye on those lap times, and they have started to stabilize a little bit. Alex White not streaming out to the same type of lead that he was before. The gap holding steady around 4 seconds here for the last three laps.
And just about 3 seconds back of him is Marty Uren behind Parsons. So Marty putting in a quiet run, but putting in some nice laps. Triana not far behind Marty either, so Triana involved in the mix, as is Jaime Moore. So this top 5 really doing a great job.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm looking through timing and scoring here at another guy, David Rowley, who's actually putting in a very good effort of his own, now running in the 9th positions. David Rowley has managed to survive the opening laps here and looking to settle down and run, almost almost throws it off there, but anyway, David Rowley looking good.
I'm watching Salem Montgomery Jr. now. He's got Matt Taylor behind him, and Matt looks like he's starting to put some pressure on, or close the gap, let's say, on Salem. He looks to be closing up a little bit. Well, Chris Moses looks like he might have had an incident. He's fallen back now to 10th. He was behind David Poole for a little while now. Now he's got Laurent Vassman to contend with. Johnny Lugnuts, this battle here for 12th between Lugnuts, Chandler and Myers, really heating up. On board with Greg. Looks like Jens Klempnauer is out of the race. We talked about that Lambo you're in, Jens, and qualifying. Not an easy car to get over that hump.
Teammate Kevin Savoie threw it off even earlier than Jens did, so that I think that is saying something, absolutely. Or in the same car, excuse me.
Yeah. So Greg now really closing up on Kurt. I'll tell you what, I think Johnny might be holding this pack up a little bit, as Kurt looks like he's got some pace. We got a bunch of smoke up ahead here. On board with Kurt.
I should think that Panos would be quite a bit more consistent and comfortable than the Ferrari in front.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe just a matter of time for Kurt before he decides to make the pass on Johnny. As you can see, he's really closing up on him in some of these sections.
And the thing both Curtis Chandler and Gregory Myers are doing are being very patient, which is a big part of what it takes around this track. I know that we were talking a little bit about that before we went live. The patience required around here is pretty staggering.
Ooh. Kurt running a bit wide there, losing a bit of time to Johnny. That's allowed Greg to catch up. And Gup Douglas in 15th, not too far behind this group. So nice little battle shaping up here. Andres Prieto has made it back into the points. The race is scheduled for max distance of 38 laps, and that's what we should go. Should go the distance. So Moses has dropped the position to Vassman. So I wonder if Moses just could having issues in that, continues to have issues on that hump.
Yeah, and of course, all of these drivers will have issues there. The only question is, you know, to what extent?
Ooh, as Vassman takes it off.
Aaron Parsons slipping through the order, Al. Aaron Parsons looks like he has made a mistake. Slipped behind Marty Uren now in the 3rd position.
Wow, with a lap car in between. So Marty takes advantage of Parsons' mistake.
And I didn't catch it, but it looks like that was coming over the hump.
It looks like it, yep. So, wow, rare mistake for Parsons. Finds to the advantage of Marty. Finds him back in 3rd.
Yeah, indeed, and that battle for 2nd is actually relatively close now. 4 drivers just separated by about a second apiece there.
Yep, Triana involved as well. With the lap car of Della Torre, the Jag up ahead. So Triana gets by okay. Jaime Moore going to try and do the same. Yeah, so Marty running pretty consistent lap times to Parsons, so that gap really didn't change that much. Those guys running lockstep with one another, as was Triana, so.
Yep, absolutely right, Al. Aaron Parsons perhaps having a slight edge, but eventually went over the limit a little bit, so it's all for naught at this point.
So it looks like Salem has found his groove. He's picked up some time on Matt Taylor, who is running in the 7th position. Matt coming up on his teammate. His teammate just took it off.
Yeah, that's Salem Montgomery Jr. Got to hand it to 2 Slackers Racing. I mentioned them there toward the top of the broadcast, and that team looking very sharp here tonight.
Yeah. Depending on how things turn out, they could find themselves in the lead in the team championship and in the drivers championship as well. As David Poole currently in 8th, while Preto is back in 16th. So I'm not sure team orders are going to play a part here tonight, but it may happen. Poole really putting some pressure on Matt Taylor for that 7th spot. So Poole, even with that weight, really doing a great job.
Boy, and you talk about consistency and patience. These guys both kind of personify that. Now everybody can make a mistake. 2 of the more patient drivers here in NAGP, both David Poole and Matt Taylor. His career is still relatively young here, has been putting in some very fine results as a consequence of that patience and consistency. Whoa!
Whoa, big slide from Raleigh. This battle for 9th heating up between Vassman, Moses, and Raleigh. Further back, Johnny. Oh, looks like Kurt may have had a problem, as Johnny now in 12th. Yep, Kurt's back in 14th, sorry, it looks like. Oh, no, I take that back. Gup has moved up to 14th. And Kurt, 15th, under pressure from Preto.
Yeah, quick update. David Raleigh has pulled it into the pits, so I'm not sure if this is an early stop or for repairs, but I suspect it's an early stop. Schedule.
Who is JW? Question. Where's JW? Oh, Wathan. Let's see if he's still around.
Unfortunately, I believe John Wathan is out of this race. Sorry to say.
Well, Greatrix looks like he has a little fender damage. He is fallen back to 16th, while Kevin Miller is 1 spot behind him in 17th. His teammate Brian Story 18th. Jack Ivey still running in 19th. So Jack keeps it up here, and the way things have gone so far, Jack can find himself in the points. So he's got to buckle down here, Jack. Felipe Triana in 20th. Ken Rodriguez now back in 21st. He's got Liquid Lou Mascarelli chasing him down in 22nd. Whoa! Lou managing to hold on to that one. Now Raleigh exiting the pits in 23rd. Ahead of Wilkerson and Rich Roman. And Trussler also in the pits. De La Torre 27th. Cuppet coming out. Well, let's take a look at the timing here real quick. Working lap 14. I would say it's a bit early, Brad.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but track continues to stay pretty warm, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know if that's affecting Aaron Parsons or not, but he has made yet another mistake. Though Aaron Parsons losing just a ton of time here, now has slipped back to the 6th position. And meanwhile, Chris Moses and Laurent Weissman were in quite a fight as you were doing your field rundown, but Chris Moses has gotten past Laurent for the 9th position.
Well, this battle for 3rd really heating up as Jaime Moore has caught up to Rodrigo Triana and really putting on the heat. A couple of Colombians duking it out. Juan Monroy out the last 2 races. Actually, I believe he's working the USF 2000 series. I think he's crewing for somebody there. I expect him to be back next week.
Yeah, very interesting battle for that 3rd place shaping up, not only on track, but in the overall points scheme as well.
So Sale now up to 5th as Parsons, you mentioned, he made a couple mistakes. He's dipped down way back to 6th. So that's got to be gut-wrenching for him. Looking back, Taylor continues to run 7th. Oh, it looks like he's put a little distance between him and Poole now. Poole might be suffering from some wear and weight. Not a good combination.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that too, but fortunately for David Poole, he should be getting pretty close to a pit stop window. Track continues to cool very slightly, down from 108 to 103 degrees on track now.
Chris Moses 9th. He's gotten by Vassman. You mentioned that earlier. Well, Johnny Lugnut's now. Myers and Gup Douglas really having a close battle here for that 11th spot.
And you got to be impressed with Johnny Lugnuts, holding up quite a bit of pressure earlier for very tight positions, and now once again showing a very good strength out front, leading that small pack.
Yeah, it looks like as well these guys are closing up on Vassman, so could be a 4-way battle with Preto involved too. So this is going to be a 5-way fight.
Yeah, we know what kind of speed Andres Preto is going to have, even damaged, probably compared to the rest of these guys. So some tense moments perhaps closing in.
On board with Greg. Further back with Andre now as he's trying to hold on to these guys with a damaged car, like you said.
Yeah, so this type of battle with these guys running so close, the pit window surely for these guys is open by now. It's something you want to start to think about. Can I get out of this pack? Maybe get a little bit of an advantage on some fresh tires by stopping early. I guess we'll just have to see, but perhaps running through some of these drivers' minds at this point.
Looks like Laurent stays out. Pit lane. Well, it looks like Dan Wilkerson is in the pits.
Boy, looking through the lap times of some of the leaders now, there surely is some heat and tire wear issues going on out there, and some traffic as well. Boy, the lap times have really dropped off, so somebody is considering taking some new rubber. It may be very advantageous if they do it just right.
Well, Prieto with another moment, going over the hill, cresting the hill, but I was able to hang on to it. So Kurt Chandler now finds himself all alone here in 15th. He's got Greatrix in 16th with Kevin Miller. These two guys continue to duke it out for that final points paying position on board with Kevin. Ooh, Kevin might get a run on him here. If that Mercedes can get a toe off the Panos, that'd be a little unlikely, Lil. That Panos got some legs.
Oh, quick update. Marty Urin has bended coming around turn 2. Multiple barrel rolls, puncture.
Jaime Moore involved too. Jaime Moore damaged and off the pace. Wow, missing his front clip. You know, this might not be too bad for Jaime. He's got it going. He could pit it in now. That moved Salem up to second. Well,
yes, it does.
Marty's got a puncture, but Marty should be able to get there. He might lose a couple positions, but enough, you know, he'll lose that podium, but it could be a lot worse.
You know, I thought he had a puncture, but looking at how he's running out there, I think maybe he doesn't. Maybe we just saw some
suspension damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop a position to Poole, and Moses coming up.
Well, anyway, you mentioned the pit stops. We do have pit stops incoming before that that melee ensued there. I'm not sure what happened, but saw Marty dropping right through the order like a stone, and clicked to him in time to see him about 50 feet in the air doing a few barrel rolls.
So this is this may not be too bad for Jaime if he dives into the pits now. He could hang on to that third.
Yeah, the repair
that's
time.
not going to help as he takes it off.
And you know what? That sand is deadly. Oh, that stuff is so thick.
He got it going,
through it pretty well. Uses the clutch. Yeah, it's going to take a while to fix that damage, but
Poole is in. Moses is in. Moses tapping the wall on his way in. And Matt Taylor's going to stay out.
yeah, what a run up for Salem Montgomery Jr. though here. Now running second. Shoot, the smallest problem by Alex White up front. Salem Montgomery Jr. is leading this race.
Everybody diving into the pits now. Prieto is in. Lugnuts. Gup Douglas. Marty finally makes it back. Greg Myers is elected to stay out, as has Vassman. Taylor are now running in third. Montgomery and White have stayed out. So we'll have to keep our eye on White, see what he elects to do here. He's staying out.
Oh, we have some type of problem in the pit lane. I think somebody is in Marty Urin's stall. Looks like that'd be Jaime Moore or Andres Prieto.
Salem's going to stay out. Oh, yeah. That is Jaime Moore, and he's getting service damage.
Yeah, and a long stop he was going to have as a result of that damage, and what a devastating blow for Marty Urin. Unbelievable. What? Well, that's not going to help, Marty.
Now, trying to figure out what's going on here. Let's go back out front. Matt Taylor now back into the pits. Vaspin as well. This moves Greg Myers to third.
Wow. So quite a shakeup right before pit stops. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how all this shapes up after these pit stops do cycle through. Alex White into the pits from the lead.
Yep. See what Montgomery does. Sail him in. So Greg Myers, if he elects to stay out, will take over the lead, we assume. Greg's going to stay out.
Yeah, not too surprising. Greg does tend to run longer stints, so not too big a surprise there. He's still running pretty decent laps. Car feels good, so why not?
Alex White is away. Salem just getting on the jacks now. Aaron Parsons. Let's see if he'll be able to beat him out. Has Parsons pitted yet?
Aaron has pitted.
And he's got him. Wow.
Well, I think that comes down to just some fresher rubber. Aaron came in a couple laps earlier, was able to put down some fast laps. The lap times really dropped off there toward the end of that first stint.
Really slow stop for Salem as Rodrigo has gotten by as well. Chris Moses with a great stop. He's leapfrogged Matt Taylor. And David Poole with a slow stop. David Rowley's gotten out ahead of him. You know, Rowley pitted a lot earlier than the rest of these guys.
Yeah, so still a couple. Mike Greatrex is ahead of Salem Montgomery Jr. Mike has not made his stop yet, so Salem will lose a couple spots. Looks like he'll slot back into 5th.
Greg Myers now leading this race, though he has yet to stop. Alex White in second, not far behind. Followed by Parsons and Triana.
Yeah, that battle's suddenly very close now, and Aaron Parsons really taking advantage of those fresh tires there for a couple laps.
So great performance from Rodrigo here tonight. Both these guys with great stops. Aaron especially. But Salem. Ooh, is Moses. I don't know how he's saving it. Every time over that hump, he's sideways. Matt Taylor getting by Carlos De La Torre. Ooh, Johnny. It's either Johnny or Lou taking it off.
That'd be Lou. I'm on Johnny Lugnuts, currently in 13.
So someone mentioned on the chat, Carlos doing a good job tonight. He certainly is. Had his first GT1 race last Thursday at Magny-Cours. A little bit off pace, but we'll get him up there. Dave Rowley trying to get a toe off Carlos. Carlos does a good job letting him by. David Poole in the mix here as well in 10th. Breto now finds himself in 11th. Wow. What a change of events here for Poole. Prieto at one point was out of the points. Poole was running around where he is now. Now he looks in his mirror and Prieto's behind him.
It's not really that big a surprise. You know, we expected Andres Prieto to advance his position, assuming he didn't have any more mistakes. Now, still a few laps to run here, so Andres Prieto still the possibility of making more mistakes out there. But he is likely to have pace on David Poole.
Someone mentioned best run I've seen David Rowley do this season. The night's still young.
Well, it is a very good result. I'm impressed. You know, and pushing Matt Taylor.
He is putting in a good run. We'll see if he fades here near the end after stopping several laps sooner than the other guys on track.
You know, I was watching David a little bit toward the end of that first stint, and the car was getting a little wobbly on him. So I think you're right. That does bear watching.
So this gap for second has widened a little bit here as Parsons really turning the screws now. Rodrigo about a second and a half off of Parsons. Looks like Greg Myers is finally pitted. Go ahead.
Sorry, David Rowley has now made a mistake, allowed David Poole to get through, and of course Andres Prieto is going to be right behind.
Oh, David Poole has taken the position away from Rowley. On board with Prieto. This battle for seventh. Oh, Rowley. Prieto having a look on the inside. Oh, they have contact. Rowley spins. Prieto goes on. Hard to say what happened there. Looks like I think Prieto thought he might have had a run on him, and he just tapped.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it, Al, but hopefully David Rowley will be able to get it collected back up and get back to his fine performance here. Plenty of race left to pick up some positions at this point.
So Greg Myers rejoins after his pit stop, rejoins in 9th. Laurent Vassman now 10th, Lugnut's in 11th, Gup Douglas in 12th, and Rowley has fallen back to 13th with Rich Roman now in the points in 14th. I haven't talked much about Rich, but oh, keep it on track. Oh! Broadcaster's curse there as Rich about to lose a position to Kevin Miller. So Rich in 15th, Felipe Triana in 16th. Jaime Moore in 17th after that heartbreaking incident where he lost his front clip. We didn't really catch it. We just caught the tail end of it. Now finds himself out of the points. Jack Ivey in 18th. So Jack and Great Tricks close by one another. Jack's been right around this spot most of the night. Brian Story 20th. Kurt Chandler, not sure what happened to Kurt. He was well into the points. Now finds himself in 21st. About to put a lap down by Parsons. We got Ken Rodriguez in 22nd. Marty Uren now back in 23rd. Marty was running second. And now well out of the points. Dan Wilkerson in 24th. Lou Mascarelli 25th. Carlos Della Torre is 26th. Cuppet 27th. That's it. That's your running order right now. We got Alex White after stops, leading this race by a pretty hefty margin. 19 seconds over Parsons.
Yeah, Rodrigo Triana now not too far off the back bump of Aaron Parsons, whom you can probably see in your picture. The battle right now is also on over 6th place. David Poole, Chris Moses, and Andres Prieto fighting close. David Poole has let Chris Moses through to the 6th position, so showing a little bit of discretion there, David Poole.
Not sure if he'll do the same for Prieto.
I wouldn't think so. Now, interesting, I'm watching the ambient temperature and track temperature just kind of keep creeping down just a little bit. It's, whoa, Chris Moses goes off. Chris Moses goes off and loses 2 spots, actually, to David Poole and Andres Prieto. So Andres Prieto suddenly finds himself in the 7th position.
I'll go with Prieto as he tries to get past David Poole. Right up ahead of them is Matt Taylor in the 5th spot. Holy smokes. What a run by Matt. Well, looking at Matt Taylor, this is a case of a guy keeping it clean, keeping it on track, not making any mistakes. And he's running in the top 5. And that's been the case for him the last 4 races.
Yeah, that's right. And it really shows who has... all these guys I have seen put in a lot of practice. Like Matt Taylor might have gone a little bit above and beyond and figured out a way to practice, but to practice for actual race conditions, you know. How do I get this car from start to finish? How do I run the laps required around here? And I think it really showed.
What a battle here between Prieto and Poole. And Moses lingering not too far behind. Prieto all over the back of Poole. These guys are quickly reeling Matt Taylor in. Right, they're going to have a look. He is.
Boy, it's kind of danger zone for some of these guys. Moving up on a position, running so close around this track, fighting tooth is right on the edge, and there is just hardly any edge to give at this track.
Chris Moses has now joined this fight. Poole with a problem. Oh, he hung on to it. Amazingly enough, he hung on to it. Oh, these guys are getting feisty.
Yeah, I think David Poole would really like to see Chris Moses get back in between them. Try to hold off a charging Andres Prieto at least for another couple laps.
Prieto gets a run on Poole. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll watch him up here. He's got to be so careful here with a points lead. No need to take too many chances, really, for Andres here.
fourth action. And poor Matt Taylor, he sees this train a-coming.
Well, I think he's going to be able to stay clear a little while if he keeps running pretty consistent lines. These guys are going to be fighting. You say it is pretty intense, man. I'm kind of holding my breath. Andres Prieto, stop a little bit there coming over the hill.
And look who's not far behind them. It's Greg Myers and Laurent Vassman. So this fight is really tightening up here. 5 through 10, all within a couple seconds.
Yeah, it has to be said, Matt Taylor is at this point a little bit off the pace. I don't know if he's off the pace from like so badly, which would indicate a double stint or something. You're right, they are closing in.
Andre taking a look. Just can't get that run on him.
Oh man, watching Alex White's lap times here, and they are going really low, and lap after lap. I'm kind of getting nervous about Alex White turning these hot lap after hot lap here.
Tell you what, Greg Myers and Laurent Vassman, the two of them are quickly closing up on these guys.
Yeah, they've had a great race all race. I think Gregory Myers has actually gotten faster and faster as this race has gone on. He's really found a great groove. Wow, who's going to be the first to crack?
Yeah, exactly. Your two championship leaders, Prieto leading the championship, and in second place, David Poole in the BMW, 10 points back.
Andres might... Oh, David Poole, is he letting off?
Oh, they had some contact. Poole recovers and back on. He's fallen back to 10th. Wow. Not sure what happened there. Oh, as Moses has gotten by Prieto. We missed that.
Yeah, he took advantage of both those guys having some rear end issues there, sliding the cars around a little bit. David's was just a little bit worse than Andres, but nonetheless, Chris Moses taking advantage of little Andres Prieto's slide as well.
Unbelievable.
Well, all three of them are, all three of them are still running, so that's one for the plus column.
Yeah, I was a little confused there by that line by Poole staying to the inside. Didn't look like Prieto was ever going to get a run on him there. I mean, he get kind of close to him, but never enough to really make a move on him in that corner.
Well, yeah, I think he was committed to trying to block Andres on the inside, and he really did what he was supposed to do, not try to change lanes a bunch. He committed to where he was going and just got the braking a bit wrong for it, obviously.
Just behind these guys, we got Vassman and Greg Myers up ahead in that Z4. These guys have had a nice race throughout the night. Little iffy start for Vassman. He had quite a bit of damage on his Mercedes, but he's got it going good tonight, this second stint.
Yeah, he sure does, and really has been hanging around that 10th spot, you know, plus or minus a few the whole night.
little deceiving there. It looked like Greg ran a little wide, but did not. So Chris Moses has latched onto the back of Matt Taylor. Oh. A lot of tire smoke there. Got about 7 minutes left. Actually, about 6 minutes left to run in this race.
Yeah, laps quickly winding down here.
So out front, Alex White continues to lead. He's got a 20-second lead over Parsons in second, followed by Montgomery in third, and Rodrigo Triana in fourth. So Montgomery able to make the pass on Rodrigo. Rodrigo had gotten out of the pits ahead of Salem, but he has lost the position. Matt Taylor in fifth. Moses looks like he's made another mistake. It's allowed Prato to get by.
Yeah, he has just now, and also the battle for 8th position. Laurent Weissman did get by Gregory Myers on a little bit of a Gregory Myers mistake.
So David Poole looks like he might have made a mistake as he's fallen back. So once again, the battle for this time 6th with 5th right ahead as Taylor trying to fend off this hard-charging Prato and Moses. Whoa. Moses' car with a big lurch going over that curb. We follow Matt Taylor. It looks like,
and he's gonna be getting a little short on breath. He's gonna be getting a little short on breath here now. But Matt Taylor has managed to stay out enough laps now where he's gonna want to try to finish this thing off. So Matt Taylor should not make it easy on these guys. He's gonna have a little bit of a battle on his hands here the last couple laps.
Wow. Ooh, some tire smoke from Taylor. Starting to feel the heat. A little mistake there allowed Prato to get right up on his bumper. Prato may have a run on him here. Nope. Taylor's car is really getting out of that last corner nicely. All right, looking back, Laurent Vassman up to 8th. So he's put some distance between himself and Greg. 10th is Poole. Johnny Lugnut's putting in a solid run. He's by himself here in 11th. Gup Douglas, good job for him in 12th. Jaime Moore has battled back to 13th with Triana in 14th. Kevin Miller in the points at 15th. Rally back at 16th. Greatrix with an accident. Now at 17th, about to get, yep. Ivy moves up to 17th. Kurt's going to take that spot. Story in 19th. These guys having a battle. Marty Uren in 21st. Ken Rodriguez 22nd. Roman 23rd. Lou Mascarelli 24th. Cup at 25th. And that's your running order right now. Taking a look at the time. About one lap left here. As now Moses having a look on the inside of Preto. A little bit of contact. Preto's going to have the advantage here in the next corner. Ooh, Moses is going to take it the long way around. Whoa. Side by side.
Boy, Matt Taylor's so happy to see this.
Well, Vassman has quickly caught up to this battle. Yep, Taylor for sure is happy to see this battle going on. Yeah, that was a bold move by Moses. That could have been bad for both of them. Quick look at your leader. Ooh, Salem may have lagged out. He did. From second, he has lagged out. He's been battling that problem.
I think he's going again now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Ugh.
Oh, looks like we got one more to go. False alarm.
Hey, Alex White continuing turn laps in the 34s, and I just have no idea why. But looks like he's going to get away with it.
Well, Taylor's starting to, as Preto and Moses have closed the gap up on Taylor once again. It's probably the last lap. Oh, Moses takes it wide. He hangs on to it.
Oh, Guppus throwing it off.
Oh.
From the third. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, Gup lost a position late here. Lost his front clip.
Oh, boy.
Running so well.
Yeah, this corner here, Taylor is excellent through. See if Moses can get another run on Preto. Ah, Moses has a look, but thought better. Ooh, Moses! He takes it off. And Vassman may have a run on it. He does not. Oh, we're still running here.
I'm showing the lap timer just as now running out.
All right, so it looks like we are working lap 38 with Taylor under intense pressure from Preto with some lap traffic up ahead.
It would in no way be the end of the world for Matt Taylor to come through here to 6th, but it would feel like it if he did.
Ooh, he gets through that traffic okay. Prato, on the other hand, does not. Oh, Taylor with a bit of a bobble there. That may be just what he needed.
It's like Alex White has come in for the win, Al.
Oh, Alex White takes the win. Parsons should take second. Oh, Montgomery Jr. really has closed the gap on Parsons. Yep. Parsons to second. Good run by Salem to take third. Triana's going to finish here in fourth. And Matt Taylor holding off the championship leader up until now. We got a couple corners still yet to go. But this would be, as Prato nearly takes it off. But this is going to seal the deal for Taylor to take fifth. Easy does it, Matt. One more corner left. He's got it. Wow, great run from Matt. Prato to finish the 6th. Moses 7th. Laurent, nice run to take 8th. Ooh, David Poole is going to take 9th. Not sure what happened to Greg. Is Greg out of gas?
Uh-oh.
Greg might be out of gas.
He's still, motor's still running.
Johnny,
I think it just quit.
oh, it did quit. With Johnny Lugnut's going to take 11th, missing his front clip. Oh, he got it fired back up again. So Johnny's going to come around to the top 10. That's it. Greg's going to take 11th. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a Z4 run out of gas. Or Greg run out of gas, for that matter. Well, there's your lead lap finishers. Wow. Oh, wait. Oh, no,
yeah, well, that
it.
was a... No, I think that's it.
Yeah, so Alex White takes the win. Parsons second. Salem Montgomery Jr. with a nice job finishing third. Rodrigo Triana fourth, and Matt Taylor fifth.
Yeah, and really impressive the run also by Johnny Lugnuts and Greg Myers. Greg Myers just missing out on that top 10 as we saw, but a very good run for those guys as well. And of course, Andres Prieto, after his early troubles, coming all the way back up there to 6th place. That is really going to help preserve some of those championship points. So, yeah, fun stuff all around.
Yeah, it was a tremendous race. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Next week, we'll be coming to you live from Imola for round 8. Until then, you can catch Thursday's broadcast of the GT1 race with Jack Ivey and Ken Rodriguez from Zandvoort, first running in GT1 at that track. So, Brad, thank you for tuning in. For helping out with the broadcast, and everybody else out there watching, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.